Good Wednesday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille Show, live in Charlottesville, across the Commonwealth, the country, and the world, on the I Love CVille Network. Folks, it's raining cats and dogs outside. The show presented by Skooma Boutique Dispensary in the Charlottesville Downtown Mall. Skooma Boutique Dispensary, your choice for CBD, Delta 8, certificates of analyses on everything in the store. So if you want some pain management help, some anxiety help, you want to sleep through the night, you want to relax, Skooma Boutique Dispensary on the Charlottesville Downtown Mall, located next to Rapture. A lot to cover on today's program, the Wednesday edition of the show, as it's Hump Day. Hump Day. How many of you guys got that loud tornado warning alert yesterday evening just before midnight? We certainly did in eastern Albemarle County. My wonderful better half immediately said, let's get our little man, let's get him down from the second floor, let's bring him down to our first floor bedroom, and let's have a family sleepover. So that's what we did. Family sleepover on the first floor. Got the little man off the second floor. Fortunately, at least from what I've heard or what I can tell, no tornado touched here in Central Virginia, although the collateral damage is some significant rain across the Central Virginia jurisdiction. We went from having months in early summer of no precipitation to what it seems like rain for days, a deluge, if you may. All right, let's put the weather to the side and let's talk news and the current events and stuff that is impactful and meaning to you. Before we get to the rundown, which are the topics you see on screen, the visual component of the I Love CVille Show, the best one, although we appreciate the listeners that stream the show into their car, into their truck, into their vehicle of choice, through Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and what other methodology of choice they choose to do. First topic today, before we get to the rundown, Virginia Tech disenrolled 134 students due to COVID-19 vaccination non-compliances. So the Hokies, they're not messing around in Blacksburg. 134 students disenrolled in Blacksburg because they did not get vaccinated. VCU is is getting some heat right now. VCU folks said that they were going to do a similar practice. Vaccines if you want to come to school in the fall. What's happened, though, is VCU is not dropping the hammer on students who are unvaccinated. They're not disenrolling them, Virginia Commonwealth University. So we'll see if the media attention that VCU is getting for not disenrolling the students for not getting vaccinated will change their decision-making. Time will tell. All right, the lead of the show is Scott Stadium looking into and their mask policy. We talked about this. Scott Stadium officially, elevators, suites, inside suites, and bathrooms, you're going to need to wear a mask at Scott Stadium Friday night, William & Mary, 7:30 kickoff. I'm having a hard time finding a legitimate line for this game. One line I saw, although it wasn't one of the most reputable sports books, was Virginia a 33.5-point favorite. Any of the viewers and listeners, if you have a betting line for Saturday nights William & Mary and Virginia football game, send it our way. We saw one from a secondary betting book, sports book, and it was Cavaliers 33.5-point favorite. If you're going to the game on Friday evening, and I hope it's a sellout, I hope home field advantage is through the roof. I would love to see Virginia football have a fantastic 2021 campaign. Not only is that a team we all follow very closely, but let's cut to the chase. When Virginia football does well, boys and girls, Charlottesville, Albemarle County, and the Central Virginia economies do well. If you're going to the game on Saturday evening, you're going to bring a mask with you. That's the rules at Scott Stadium. If you're inside at any capacity, bathroom, inside a suite, inside an elevator, you're going to mask up. If you're sitting outside in the bleachers at Scott Stadium, you do not have to wear a mask. So the Scott Stadium policy very much coincides and aligns with UVA's policy for students on grounds. Yesterday, and Scott Aaronworth in Virginia Beach, thank you for setting this my way. Scott Aaronworth does a hell of a job of setting topics to us on the show. And frankly, we cover these topics that you guys send. So if you have an idea for the program, shoot me a DM, a text message, an email. Jerry at ilovecville.com, my email address. Scott Aaronworth, the fabulous Esquire from Virginia Beach, sends us a topic to cover. And darn if we are not going to cover it today. Harrison CVille of CVille and CVille Kitchen, Harrison CVille of Brookville fame, Harrison CVille, who I overlap with at the University of Virginia as students. This gentleman is celebrated the grand opening of his Multiverse Kitchens yesterday in McIntyre Plaza. Today is day 2 of Multiverse Kitchens. There are 6 different restaurants: Foul Mouth Chicken, Firebox, Brookville Biscuit and Brunch, CVille Tea Room, Smashing Salad, and Long Strange Chip, a cookie brand. So he's got 6 different brands: Smashing Salads, salad brand; Long Strange Chip, a cookie brand; CVille Tea Room, Foul Mouth Chicken, Firebox, and Brookville Biscuit and Brunch, all under a parent brand, a holding company, or a parent brand called Multiverse Kitchens. The concept is one we predicted much of last year that would come to fruition. It's order online. There's an in-person component as well, but really it's a concept that's a digital food hall. You go to Multiverse Kitchens, there's menus for the 6 different brands. You place the order online. You can pick up, you can get it delivered. One kitchen servicing 6 different menus. One kitchen, 6 different menus. Brookville Biscuit and Brunch, certainly a fan favorite. This place, kind of a Brookville 2.0. Remember, Harrison CVille, his fantastic wife Jennifer, his 2 daughters, the previous proprietors of Brookville that is now closed down. Brookville in the current Bebedero space. Sandwiches, biscuits, just down-home, good Southern cooking. He reincarnated that restaurant with Brookville Biscuit and Brunch. Firebox is intriguing. Firebox has got food from the grill, like marinated half chickens, pork chops, scallops, trouts, cauliflower steak, marinated mushrooms. It's got sides like potato salad, green bean salad, lima bean fritters, house-made potato chips. Foul Mouth Chicken is essentially a fried chicken type concept. Harrison cooks comfort food extremely well. CVille and CVille Kitchen over in Belmont, that was the second business he launched in Charlottesville from a restaurant, point of sale, brick and mortar standpoint. CVille and CVille Kitchen closed, like Brookville closed. But one of the things I've always liked about Harrison and Jennifer and the businesses they do is the food they make first is extremely delicious. The food they make is extremely approachable. It's got a good Southern feel to it, a good approachable feel to it. This Multiverse Kitchen concept, I think, is a really, really good one. Delta is no secret. It's springing, it's sprung, it's gaining momentum, it's catching fire, it's spreading like wildfire. So to be able to order essentially food through a ghost kitchen concept, 6 different ghost kitchens operating from one kitchen, that's called vertical integration. It provides economies of scale for Harrison and Jennifer, and it allows them to potentially cut down on overhead, potentially pass that savings on to you, and to improve and fatten their profit margins. I like this idea. I like the McIntyre location. and I wish Harrison Keevil and Jennifer the best of luck. I had a conversation this morning with a friend about the Charlottesville Downtown Mall. I'm going to ask you guys a question. What is the sports bar on the Charlottesville Downtown Mall? Okay, the first answer has got to be Citizen Burger Bar. Let me rephrase that question. How many bars and restaurants on the downtown mall have television screens where you can watch the game? Citizen Burger Bar, a clear-cut first choice. Fitzroy has one big TV in the Fitzroy, one. Jack Brown's has that tiny TV. Jack Brown's beer and burger joint. I think Jack Brown's, does it have one or two tiny TVs? This left my buddy and I asking this question. Is anyone not surprised or shocked that there is not a true, go-to sports bar on the mall? Draft Tap Room, in a lot of ways, filled that void. But Draft Tap Room hasn't been open since the start of this pandemic, early last year. I'm not even sure if Draft Tap Room is coming back. You've got to think the Draft Tap Room concept is very conducive to managing COVID because it doesn't utilize a lot of staff, and it's self-serve beer at taps that you fill your cup, your pint glass, through an automated self-serving system. So I have this question for you. With football season college now upon us, UVA opens Saturday, 7:30, William & Mary in Scott Stadium. Where on the downtown mall, if Citizen Burger Bar is full, and it often is, Andy McClure, Julie McClure have created a dynamite restaurant and business model. Citizen's got great burgers, great food, great beer selection, and it's got a fairly decent TV situation for watching sports. All those elements make Citizen Burger Bar extremely popular. It often gets on a wait list. Seats are often taken, especially during big games. If you're on the downtown mall and Citizen Burger Bar is full, where can you go to watch more than one game at once? Where is the sports bar? Don't you wonder or ask, or are you not surprised that downtown Charlottesville, the heartbeat of the city, these 8 blocks, the heartbeat of the city, there is no clear-cut go-to sports bar on the Charlottesville downtown mall, especially with Draft Tap Room on ice for 18 months? How long has Draft Tap Room been on hiatus? Close to 18 months, right? Why is there no go-to Wild Wing type concept, BW3 type concept, Boylan Heights type concept on the downtown mall? Now, one of the reasons potentially why is because the rents are pretty high in downtown Charlottesville. That being said, I think if an entrepreneur or a restaurateur created an approachable wing and beer with 50, 60 TVs, I mean, that might be a lot, but 20, 30 TVs, like a bank of TVs. A bank of TVs with the ACC sports package, the NFL package, Major League Baseball package. You got NASCAR, you got pro football, you got college football. I think that concept would crush it on the Charlottesville downtown mall. What is the last sports bar that existed on the Charlottesville downtown mall? Maybe Draft Tap Room. It certainly had that sports bar element. Maybe Main Street Arena. The Main Street Arena, when it was an ice park, was a tap room. Or excuse me, it was a sports bar. It had a lot of TVs for sports viewing. That's something that's missing in downtown Charlottesville. a sports bar. You come in, you got food that's priced $20 and under, you got a hell of a lot of beer taps, and you got a bank of TVs with all the sports packages readily available. That would crush. That would crush, that would crush, that would crush. Just throwing that out there and wishing it into the ecosystem. We got some tough news out of Fredericksburg. I don't know if you saw this. I try to read all the Virginia newspapers every single morning. 99% of the time, I read Richmond Times-Dispatch, Richmond BizSense, the Daily Press, the Virginian Pilot, the Daily Progress, the CVille Weekly, NBC 29, CBS 19, the Free Enterprise Forum, the Cavalier Daily, Virginia's news.virginia.edu, Roanoke Times, the News at Advance, the Daily News Record, the Washington Post. I'm a news addict, a news junkie. This is some tough news coming out of Fredericksburg. Chancellor High School is now the second public school in the Fredericksburg area to revert to virtual learning due to a high number of COVID-19 cases. Chancellor High School and the Rappahannock Area Health District have decided that all students will no longer learn in person at Chancellor High School until at least September 10th, because COVID is absolutely out of control at Chancellor High School in the Fredericksburg area. Walker Grant Middle School in Fredericksburg closed this past Thursday evening for 10 days because of a high number of COVID cases and is scheduled to return to in-person learning on September 7th. Furthermore, Chancellor High School has already canceled its first 2 high school football games due to COVID-19. High schools are now being closed in southwestern Virginia and in the Fredericksburg area due to COVID outbreaks. If you read NBC 29, CBS 19 over the weekend, yesterday, you noticed that Albemarle County schools are also dealing with COVID outbreaks where 200 plus students, nearly 200 Albemarle County students have been quarantined in the first 6 days of school. 63 students at Agner Hurt Elementary School, 51 students at Mountain View Elementary School were put into quarantine through September 9th. Many of these quarantined children are being exposed on school buses, tin cans with poor ventilations, and students sitting very close to each other. A handful of students at Stone Robinson Elementary also have been quarantined. Look, I'm going to cut to the chase here. 13 at Stone Robinson Elementary. I'm going to cut to the chase here. If you're riding a school bus and there's a deluge outside, I'm talking raining cats and dogs like it's doing right now. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs right now. How do you keep the windows down? You can't. This cats and dogs rain will get into the school bus. Take it a step further. In about 45, maybe 60 days, the weather's going to get chilly like it always does. It's called winter. It's called late fall. How are you going to keep the windows down on a school bus with elementary age students riding this tin can? You can't. The riskiest, I said last year on this network that the most dangerous place in the city of Charlottesville was the Lowe's on Route 29. It was the wild, wild west during the early stages of a pandemic. I'm going to say now, the most dangerous place with this Delta variant in the city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County and in Central Virginia in totality is on a yellow tin can that we call a school bus. You have children, many of them unvaccinated, certainly those younger than 12 years old, in tight confines with windows up, sitting closely to each other, breathing and smelling the same air, many of them unmasked. the most dangerous place for the spread of this Delta variant is on a yellow tin can. And it's no surprise and no secret that there is a shortage of bus drivers, because why would someone want to get on this yellow tin can, not get paid well, not respected like they should, not listened to by their passengers, and breathing the same air of 20, 30, and 40 rugrats? That is the most dangerous spot in this pandemic, a yellow tin can. 2 Fredericksburg area schools now closed. Chancellor High School closed to September 10th. Its first 2 football games of the season also canceled. Guys, the music festival called Bonnaroo. I went to the first ever iteration of Bonnaroo while a student at the University of Virginia. The Bonnaroo Music Festival, unfortunately, canceled. This festival canceled not because of COVID, because of heavy flooding. The Tennessee Music Festival is dealing with the collateral damage and the ramifications of Tropical Storm Ida. 700-acre farm in Middle Tennessee has seen 5 to 7 inches of rain in much of the last few days. Tropical Storm Ida is just dumping water and rain on Bonnaroo. It was a 4-day event, 80,000 people expected, many who camp on the site. The event for the second straight season canceled. This, I will reiterate, is not due to COVID, rather due to Mother Nature. It's unfortunate because so many people working Bonnaroo work so damn hard to set up this music festival, and Mother Nature said, in the words of Lee Corso, "Not so fast, my friends." So now we wait to next year to see if Bonnaroo becomes a reality. We talked on this show about, a couple months ago about the black market of COVID. And the black market of COVID is fake vaccination cards. Fake vaccination cards. Well, it's happening. And there's one entrepreneur, I guess you would call her an entrepreneur. She's using the internet to find customers and social media to find customers, and she's selling them fake vaccination cards for $200 a pop. One entrepreneur just got popped for this. Her Instagram handle was AntiVaxMomma. And AntiVaxMomma was selling fake vaccination cards for $200 a pop. AntiVaxMomma sold 250 fake vaccination cards at $200 a pop. That's 50 G's. AntiVaxMomma grossed a 31-year-old New York woman before Johnny Law dropped the hammer on her. The Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. is literally dropping, as Cyrus should, dropping the hammer on Jasmine Clifford of Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Jasmine Clifford utilized Instagram and social media to find customers, many of them college students, unfortunately, a lot of them frontline and hospital workers, and through social media, through the internet, would take $200, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. When she got confirmation of the 2 bills, the 2 C notes, the 2 Franklins, she would then mail would mail the fake vaccination card to her customers. 250 customers later, at $200 a pop, $50,000 in gross revenue, AntiVaxMomma got popped. AntiVaxMomma Jasmine Clifford, the 31-year-old from New Jersey, also formed a partnership, get this, with Nadasha Barkley. Nadasha Barkley is 27 years old. Nadasha Barkley worked for a health district, and Nadasha Barkley at a New York State immunization information health district would implement data, would implement or update databases. And these databases tracked who had been vaccinated or not. So for $250, you could get a fake vaccine card. For an additional $250, AntiVaxMomma, with the joint venture with Nadasha Barkley, would literally implement your name into a database and say that you've been vaccinated. So if you needed to go to college, a sporting event, a music venue, or if you wanted to go into one of these restaurants in New York where proof of vaccination is required, you could pay $500, you got a fake card, and you got your name included into a database that said you had been vaccinated in case someone searched that database to find your name. Eventually, the jig was up. I'm not sure what AntiVaxMomma was thinking. When you utilize social media to break the law, eventually someone's going to see that social media illegal activity and report you to the authorities. And that's exactly what happened. There was a gentleman on TikTok. This gentleman on TikTok had 2 million followers. And this gentleman, guys, was literally using TikTok to expose the AntiVaxMomma scheme, illegal scheme. He had 2 million followers and said, look at what this person on Instagram is doing. Next thing you know, Johnny Law drops the hammer on AntiVaxMomma, and now she's doing some time in Iron City in the Slammer. Guess what? She should be. She should be in the Slammer. Exploiting a pandemic that is crippling much of the country and the world for your personal financial benefit is the worst. AntiVaxMomma. The worst. Her Instagram account has been shut down. She's in the Slammer. Her joint venture partnership with this 27-year-old who was updating databases with erroneous vaccination information. She's in the Slammer too. Not a good situation and not a good look. And frankly, Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, YouTube, they got to do a better job of policing illegal activity on these social media platforms. I mean, you got people literally selling hardcore drugs on Instagram, like showing photos of like heroin and cocaine and ecstasy and saying they got dime bags and 8 balls and grams for sale. Just DM me. And Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and these social channels are literally doing nothing about these illegal activities until the authorities insist and demand that the accounts are taken down. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube are today's version of sitting on the corner and slinging an eighth or a dime bag or an 8 ball. I mean, how did you used to buy your drugs back in the day? You'd go to a guy who would post up on the corner or would make his rounds around dorms. You'd text him. You'd use some kind of discreet lingo so you don't paper the trail with illegal activity. You would say, if you were talking on the phone, I want a slice of pizza, which was an eighth, 2 slices of pizza, which was a quarter, or a whole pie, which was an ounce or a zip. You would make sure you wouldn't say incriminating stuff on the phone or through text message. And next thing you know, the zip was delivered to you and you had your ounce. Today's version of doing that is social media. You DM your dealer, he DMs you back, he meets you at a spot, and you got the drugs you're looking for. Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, all these social platforms are today's version of the drug dealer on the corner. More efficient. Don't have to sit outside in the elements. Don't have to sit outside in the heat, the humidity, the cold, or the rain. Drugs come to you. Facebook and Instagram and all the social channels, I would love to see them be a little more stringent on some of the content that's out there. I really would. I really, really would. All right, one item out of the Apple database, out of the Apple notebook. Apple, who I've said on this show many times, may be the most impactful company of our generation. Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook. It's one of those four from my standpoint. Apple or Amazon, probably in the top two, Facebook 3, Google 4. Apple is about to release, and it's going to do a pilot program. This is an interesting story. 8 states, including Arizona, Connecticut, Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Oklahoma, and Utah, will be among the first states to offer the feature of digital driver's license and digital state IDs. Apple Wallet, which you have on your iPhone and your iWatch, you can update or upload your driver's license to Apple Wallet. So when someone says, "Let me see your ID," instead of carrying your wallet around, you just have your iPhone and you could say, boom, boom, Apple Wallet, here's my ID, here's my date of birth, please let me into the concert, please let me buy this case of Minutemen, please let me into this sporting event, here's my ID. Apple, because of its innovation with devices, this, my friend, the iPhone I have in my hand, or this iWatch that's on my wrist, these devices will hold our medical records, our medical charts, our driver's license. Heck, I trade stocks and update my portfolio through my iWatch. I can literally, and I'm doing it right now. All right, slide over to the Merrill Edge app. I'm looking at markets. How's the portfolio doing? How's the watch list? Do I want to make any trades? I mean, it's literally that easy. Apple, as it continues to innovate in the wearables and the handheld and device game, it's going to replace wallets and purses. We're going to leave our casa, our abode, our house, our crib, and we no longer are going to need to carry a wallet on us. We're going to use these devices as the home for our driver's license, our debit cards, our credit cards, and we're going to use apps like Venmo and PayPal and the Cash App to transfer funds if we need to. I said yesterday PayPal. PayPal is like that next level. I mean, the four most impactful brands of our generation, of this most recent generation, on mankind, on society, on the world, on America, on the globe: Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. The next level, PayPal's got to be in there. PayPal is revolutionizing how we pay people, transfer funds. And now we see PayPal is about to open a stock trading, is considering opening a stock trading platform. So PayPal, who owns Venmo, PayPal, who's getting in the crypto game, now considering a stock trading platform. I put PayPal in that next tier of companies right after the big four of changing how we go about living, human behavior and social behavior. Apple archiving your driver's license, state IDs, and medical records, that is big time. That is big time, big time, big time. And before we know it, will be the norm for the world, for the country, for Virginia, for Central Virginia. I mean, it makes sense. Your driver's license, your debit card, your credit card. How many of you guys have lost your driver's license? Me? Judah, you lost a driver's license ever? No. Judah never has. Judah's very responsible. How many of you guys have left your debit card or your credit card at the bar? Me? Judah, have you left your debit card or your credit card at the bar at last call? He says no. He said F no. Wow, okay. I've lost my driver's license before. I have left my debit card or my credit card at the bar at last call. You know what I don't leave at the bar? You know what I don't lose? This $1,000 computer that's in my hands. If I did lose this $1,000 computer that was in my hands, guess what I could do? I could find it by tracking where the device is located through Apple's backend software. Who's had to find their iPhone before? How to use the app, find my iPhone? Me? No problem. Oftentimes it's on the nightstand under some stuff in the bedroom. This iWatch, this is a cool function. I will do it for you. The iWatch allows you, when you're wearing it, to find your phone. So I can go like this. I swipe up on my iWatch, and I push this button, and it's telling me, it's beeping this, my phone. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. It's over here. Phone. It's dope. It's super dope. So add in the safety mechanism that these handheld computers often have Face ID to unlock, thumbprint to unlock, or a security passcode to unlock, and losing this doesn't become nearly as big of a deal as losing a credit card. Not nearly as big a deal as losing or leaving your credit card somewhere. I don't know. I was intrigued by that. So to wrap up the show, here's some things that I'd like for us to consider. Why is there no 40, 30 TV sports bar in the downtown mall? Bank of TVs. Every sports package available. Especially with the success of Citizen Burger Bar, the top grossing restaurant in the downtown mall, Citizen Burger Bar. I'm just very curious of why that doesn't happen. Multiverse Kitchens in McIntyre Plaza, 6 restaurants, 1 kitchen, ghost kitchen concept, online ordering, Harrison Keevil, Jennifer Keevil, their grand opening yesterday. Support them. I love the innovation from Harrison and Jennifer. I think this ghost kitchen, digital food hall concept, in a lot of ways is the future of takeout and restaurants in general. Okay, Scott Aaronworth, thank you for putting that on my radar. Scott Stadium, you're going to be wearing masks when you're inside, whether it's the bathroom, inside a suite, or an elevator, you're going to need a mask, but you won't need to wear the mask while sitting in the stadium. One of the secondary sports books showed Virginia as a 33.5-point favorite. If you can find that line from a Caesars or a DraftKings or a FanDuel or one of the legitimate sports books like the Greek, Set It My Way, oftentimes these mainstream books, they don't offer lines for games like this because there's so much unknown for a team like William & Mary. 2 Fredericksburg schools have closed due to COVID. Chancellor High School is shut down until September 10th because of an outbreak of epic proportions. It's also canceled its first two football games of the season. The Bonnaroo Music Festival in the middle of Tennessee has been canceled for a second straight year due to flooding and inclement weather from Hurricane Ida. And ladies and gentlemen, AntiVaxMomma, the entrepreneur, the social media entrepreneur who was selling fake vaccination cards for $200 a pop, for $250 a pop, excuse me, either $200 or $250 she was selling them for. She was then selling the opportunity to update statewide databases with fake vaccine information for another $250. She's in the slammer right now. She is in the slammer as she should be for breaking the law. And Apple, dude, if you're in the wallet game, if your business is creating and selling wallets to people, I am very, very bearish on that industry. The wallet is becoming the yellow pages. The wallet is becoming AM radio. The wallet is becoming the door-to-door salesman, okay? It's just quickly becoming antiquated and unneeded, and Apple's literally about to cannibalize this thing we call a wallet that we keep in our pocket or in our purse. That's the program. My name is Jerry Miller. The I Love CVille Show presented by Skooma Boutique Dispensary in the Charlottesville Downtown Mall. Dude, you guys should try this place, man. Certificates of analysis on everything you're ordering. If you have anxiety, Difficulty sleeping through the night, pain management issues, want to relax? Skoom's got something for you. David T and his team do it right. And Skooma Boutique Dispensary. For Judah Wickower, I'm Jerry Miller. This, the I Love CVille Show.